As you begin playing Crow Country, you are instantly transferred back to 19s. When you launch rudimentary 3D games on a bulky TV or monitor, sitting in a dark room while your parents scolded you about ruining both your eyesight and the cathode ray too. The creator of his new title has tried to craft a game reminiscent of vintage horror classic like the early Resident Evil or Silent Hill, complete with an VHC filter, pre-appropriate fonts, and a wonderful homepage to classic horror games. While it may not bulk talk to the town weeks or months from now, Gen enthusiasts and those nostalgics for their childhood will find great enjoyment in this game. Set in 19th, we control agent Mara Forrest, as she investigates the mysterious disappearance of Edward Crow, owner of the Crow Country amusement park, which was closed 2 years ago and has since been largely abandoned. As we explore the park, we uncover more details about the incident. It turns out a 15-year-old girl was injured there, claiming she was attacked by a person, though the police report state it was an animal. In reality, both the girl and the cops were wrong. The park is overrun with monsters. We arrive by car to the entrance to Crow Country, and at first glance the place doesn't seem particularly dangerous. It's quite eerie. Dirty walls, scattered objects, rusting metal, empty ticket booths. Further on you encounter animalics that seems like they could start moving and scare you at any moment. But overall it's just an abundant location where your vivid imagination tickles your nerves more than a real horrors. However, as time passes, the place becomes increasingly dangerous. When you reach certain plot points, monsters and traps appear in rooms and corridors you already explored. Snares, poison mines, failing chandeliers, areas you previously run through amplified become a hostile. This doesn't mean you need to shoot everything inside. Even so, the heroine carries a gun, as in old hero games, is advised to waste resources on every encounter when you can simply dash past. Mara isn't the most fragile girl and can withstand several injuries, so even the grotesque limbs of the misshapen monster reach her, nothing too terrible will happen. In extreme cases, you can patch up wounds with a first aid kit. When health is low, the character starts limping, hinting that she needs help, and there are plenty of first aid kits to be found in trash cans, broken crates, and glass tubes scattered everywhere. You can avoid fight altogether if you choose exploration mode at the start. In this mode you don't see monsters, so there's nothing to shoot at. However, I wouldn't recommend playing this game this way. Firstly, the grotesque monster design are too good to miss, and they make the park more atmospheric. Secondly, the enemies only seem dangerous. They are slow and clumsy, don't try to corner you, and don't kill with one hit. In most cases, they are more like set pieces that you can sometimes interact with emotionally, for example by luring them towards traps. Monsters aren't the only thing reminiscent of old games. The controls are similar designed. Crow Country can be played like a classic adventure with a ton controls using the D-pad, 2 buttons to run the character left and right, and 2 to move them forward and back. When this gets tiresome, you can switch to the analog stick at any time, eliminating the tank feel. Shooting also has 2 modes, one with a somewhat awkward layout reminiscent of PS1 Resident Evil, and another using triggers for aiming which didn't exist on Game Pass back then. Whichever mode you choose, the hero can't aim and shoot while moving. The main element carries over from past-century horror games is the puzzles. Everything is very similar. Interconnected location, numerous locked doors, locks requiring bronze, silver or gold keys, and so on. Each new location needs to be thoroughly explored. Reading newspaper, clipping left on tables and notes, hanging on the walls, where staff left messages for each other. Often you will find the solution to a future puzzle long before encountering the corresponding challenge. In some cases I was surprised by how straightforwardly solutions are explained. For instance, the hero needs to say a phrase to open a door, and this phrase is literally written in one of the notes. You don't even have to piece it together, but mostly you encounter puzzles that require some thought, and solving them is interesting, not difficult but engaging. The puzzles are diverse. Reading notes for clues doesn't get boring, and some puzzles involve amusing mini-games. If you get stuck, which is likely to happen, you can use fortune-telling machines 10 times through the game to get hint. Also, KURO-O Country has plenty of story-related puzzles. There's also room for secrets. These aren't just for extra armor or trinkets. There are available items, including new weapon types, weapon upgrades, and even enhancement for the consumables. This is the charm of the game. You don't want to run through the plot. The bronze and silver keys open more than just one or two doors. Sometimes you want to take a piece of a paper, like a childhood, and write down places with the locked rooms and safes. The game in a map could have helped with this, but they don't make it modern and very convenient. On one hand, it's not the worst. All locations are marked and even labeled, and over time hints for secrets appear on it. At the same time, it's impossible to rotate the map, so regardless of which direction the character is facing, it remains in the same position. This makes it difficult to understand which direction to go, and due to traps appearing as you progress. Mistakes leads to health loss or the need to use antidote if your character is poisoned. But over time you start to memorize the layout of location. There were moments when I know where I go without the map. In overall aspects, KURO-O Country succeeds. The locations are diverse, there's an arcade hall, and overall world simulation, something like a fantasy village with a mushroom and fairies, and a restaurant. The game setting is the past century is indicated by amusing details, cassettes and floppy disk instead of CD, and even a quiz where the answer to how many planets are in the solar system isn't the one is considered correct in our time. And in terms of graphics, sound and interface, is an excellent attempt to make a game in the spirit of old horror titles. The main virtue of KURO-O Country is that it's not just try to imitate PS1 Resident Evil and evoke nostalgia through reference. These new horror games feel like a lost game from a past era, accidentally found decades later. Also, it has a control setting and an exploration mode that would have seemed out of place back then. Playing KURO-O Country is comparable to a journey back to a childhood, with only by the popping up achievements slightly marring the atmosphere. Just remember to save in special rooms. The game mercifully erases progress in case of that. So to sum up, all pros of the games is graphic, music and interface in the spirit of classic horror games, intriguing story that interesting to piece together, engaging puzzle and mini-games, excellent monster design, secrets that reward truly useful items, and hint system and exploring mode for those who need it. And cons is not the most convenient map, slow enemies rarely pose a threat, resulting in relatively low difficulty, and solutions to some puzzles are explained too directly. Thank you for watching. I highly recommend to try this game.